Number 5.
I feel terrible for the Lions. What was that kick? Like, if you watched Detroit-Pittsburgh yesterday, and I mean, they set football back 100 years in that game. It was so incredibly bad. But I like the Lions. I like how hard they play. I'd much rather root for them than the Jets. The Lions scratch, kick, claw. What does the coach say? Biting kneecaps, whatever it is. I love that guy. I would give anything for him to be the coach of the Jets because his team is playing hard. And they set up for a 48-yard field goal. Did you see it?
I did.
Did you guys see it? Hembo and Bubba and Nuno, did you guys see that kick?
Uh-huh.
How was that not blocked? Like, that kick did not look markedly better. This is an NFL kicker. That kick did not look markedly better than it would have if I had kicked it.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, how do you miss? It was not blocked. He kicked a 48-yard field goal, 28 yards. What was that? Nuno, what was it? You know soccer, you know kicking. Well, what the hell was that?
That was just a complete and utter disaster. Thank you, Steelers, by the way, for knocking me out of my survivor pool.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, got that yesterday with the Steelers. The Ben thing didn't help. But look, it was a terrible football game. And by the way, once again, we had players on both teams who said they did not know the game could end in a tie. Now, how is this possible? Like, I don't understand. How do you play professional football and not know that? Like, games end in ties sometimes. Like, we have one almost every year.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't get it. There were players on both teams. But anyway, I feel terrible for the Lions and their fans. That team is fighting. No one deserves a win like they deserve a win. I mean, they stink. They're unbelievably bad. Jared Goff was the first pick in the draft. It's hard to believe. But at least they're out there giving you their all. And that kick, they should have won it. You set up for a 48-yard field goal. You're supposed to win the game.
I mean, they at least make you watch the fourth quarter.
And yesterday, the fifth quarter, too, or the overtime. And I mean, he literally, if you haven't seen it, you got to go find that somewhere on social media. That might be the worst kick I've ever seen.
Even the broadcasters are like, that had to get tipped, right? And
Right.
then you see it clear the line of scrimmage without any. It
was not blocked.
No, it just kept. Yeah.
It was just terrible. So I feel terrible for them.
Number 4.
Mac Jones is better than Tom Brady was in 2001, and it's not even close. Let's be clear. Tom Brady, who was in his second year in New England then, he didn't play as a rookie hardly at all, came in and became the starter for New England week 3 of the 2001 season and wound up winning the Super Bowl that year, and is an incredible story and everything else. And we all know what Brady has gone on to become, which is the greatest player in the history of the sport. And no one is forecasting that for Mac Jones, least of all me. But if you remember that team, that was a good team that got hot. Their defense was unbelievable. They got a few breaks, and they won a championship. Tom Brady that year threw 18 touchdowns, 12 picks, and passed for 2,800 yards. Mac Jones owns that offense. Mac Jones, as the season has gone on, he's phenomenal. A little later this morning, we're going to ask the question on this show, where should he have gone in the draft? Should he have been the first pick in the draft? He is so good, it's ridiculous. And if you listened to the show, you knew it was coming. I've been telling you since January, and the reason I know this is because I started studying for the draft. I hosted the draft last year, and I started studying. And what I learned was, as I watched Mac Jones play, Mac Jones graduated from Alabama in 2.5 years with a 4.0 GPA and has a master's degree. There's no substitute for smart. Smart is valuable, and he's smart. And that's the most important thing to be as a quarterback. He's got enough arm and enough athletic ability for his smart to put him over the top. So he's the best of the quarterbacks in this draft. And I would not be stunned if they win the championship this year. I would not be stunned at all.
This year?
Yes.
No rookie quarterback has ever done it.
Would you be stunned?
I would not be stunned. In fact, right now the Patriots they're plus 98. Their scoring margin is plus 98. That is a better scoring margin through 10 games than 5 of Belichick's 6 Super Bowl winning teams were at this point in the season.
Their defense is phenomenal. They're shutting people down. The rookie is getting great. And Belichick is showing you he's the greatest coach ever. It's Greeny with you here with my takes coming out of yesterday.
Number 3.
The Browns are the biggest disappointment in the NFL. Baker is Baker. It's enough already with that. Baker Mayfield is not and has not been and is never going to be a great quarterback. That's just, we're done with that now. But their defense stinks, and that is a disgrace. That is an underachieving football team. And for all of the Kevin Stefanski love, and I thought he could easily have been the coach of the year last year for what he did in Cleveland. Why can't I remember who was the coach of the year last year? Who was the coach of the year in the NFL last year? It wasn't Stefanski. Who was it? I don't even remember who it was. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, I thought he easily could have been the coach of the year last year. And now, that the way you judge a coach is you look at the names on the backs of the jerseys of the player, regardless of the sport. And you say, is that team better than, worse than, or equal to the talent that it has? Well, this team is way worse. Way worse. I know they've had injuries. Every team has injuries. It's the NFL. They have just been terrible. Who won Coach of the Year last year?
He did. Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, he did.
win.
Okay, good. He deserved to. This year he does not.
No.
And they are, to me, the biggest disappointment in the sport.
Number 2.
Number 2 is that no one is good. Raiders, Chargers, Ravens, Bucks. Last week we all know what happened with the Bills and the Cowboys. No one is good. Hembo is going to have some numbers for this a little bit later that we will do. But that is the overriding thought I had, is that watching this thing, there's no great team in the NFL, which I think in the big picture is a good thing. Aaron Rodgers got a little sneak peek of that. He got a little glimpse of his Green Bay mortality. And I'm telling you, I believe as a result of all the stuff that happened, and if they play their cards right, which I believe they will, he is going to wind up staying in Green Bay after this season.